Alright everyone, so today is on a Friday and I decided to make a recap on the ALA strategy of this week, how it played. So as you know, if you are new to this strategy, the first thing you should have is this indicator session by Lux Algo. That's the first thing you should have. It's for free, actually it's for free, and make sure your time frame is on 15 minutes and the pair is GBP USD as usual. So the first thing we did on Monday, it was, let me move this one right here. So the first thing we did on Monday is it was to mark the Friday's high and low, and it was simple by just taking your volume profile, mark from the beginning of the Asia to the London session, not New York, just there to the London session of the Friday. So we got our high and low. So we got our high and low, and let's see how the market played actually. So we had, if you don't know what are these three lines, the first one is value area high, the middle one is the point of control, and this one is the value area low. So the values will work as support and resistance, and this one will act as the main point of control. That's what's called the point of control. So on our support and resistance, let's see how it played. Let's see how it played once the week opened. So right there, you're gonna mark that. Okay, Sunday got in, played by simple. So on Friday we just broke this resistance, then we used it as a support right here in the middle. As you can see, we used it as a support. Then after we break down, we went up again, we opened on the top, then we retested it. You see now this retesting it with this is called hanging man, or you can just call it a spike, a rejection candle, as you can see, meaning that is a confirmation candle. So you could just buy from here. This one was a buying signal. This one was a buying signal. Your stop loss right there, and your TP to the, you always look at the nearest liquidity. So our nearest liquidity was right here. As you can see, we broke structure. Let me see. So this one was a structure, we used it as a support, then it was broke. You need to have a little bit of SMC knowledge. So we broke this structure, then this one, instead of becoming a support, because it was a support, then market break it. No, it acted as a resistance. So this one was my target, and I had a risk of 1:2, or we can just say 1:3. So that's how we got an entry on Monday opening. So once the Monday Asian and London was completed, we needed to have another entry. So mark your support and resistance. As you can see, they are different. Not always all the time they are this somehow close, but sometimes we have a long distance. So if according to my experience, if you have this, your support and resistance are very far, or the support and the resistance, the candle was outside support and resistance after this London was finished, like here London stopped here, but the candles were out. But if the candles were right on the middle, like right here, that's why I call it an A+ setup. But this one also is an A+ setup if you just understand it, and it's very easy. So as you can see, now I'm gonna use this support line because the market was was on near that. So as you can see, on Monday gave us our support and resistance, but it never gave us our entry. So we didn't have any entry on Monday. So if we didn't have any entry, we didn't place a trade. So you come here. This is not about gambling or it is a 50-50 where no, this one is at 95% win rate. So we had our support and resistance right here. After we had this our support and resistance, what happened? The market closed outside our range, then it came back in, after coming back in right here, it rejected. You see the rejection candle again, it was rejected twice this level, you can see, because this one was a support. You can see the candle was struggling to break, but once it broke it came back in and rejected this area. So if it rejected that area, that's our entry. A rejection, that's our entry. Our support on our stop loss above that London high, and our TP on not on the London low or something like that. People say you mark out the London high and low. No, not the London high and low. No. There's no need to mark out the London high and low. You just mark the resistance. You see, you can see that's how it played. My stop loss right there. This one is 1:1.5. You can see it's very easy. That's a win rate target. But you know, using these strategies, I'm not telling you that you are going to make small profits. No. With this strategy, with a perfect capital, you can just multiply it, double it every day by just putting a much bigger lot size. So interesting. Our support, our resistance, I mean, which became support, was close to our point of control. Interesting, in that this point is very like. So what happened? This is what happened. The market closed right here. It was struggling, but it never gave us a rejection candle. So it gave us a strong no after the London. So after the London, we had this bearish candle, then the bullish one, then we had a candle. You can see we are not rejecting on the buy, we are rejecting on the sell. Though we had this, but we are still rejecting. We haven't have a rejection on saying that it's rejecting a buy. With this candle shows us that it's rejecting the sell. The market is not going down anymore. So meaning that this is our point of this is our point of interest. So if this is our point of interest and we are rejecting, you could buy right here, but this one was not clear. So I waited here and we broke this level. We closed it outside. After closing outside, you can see we came back in. Now the coming back in, I took it as a, let me say, I took it as a retracement. So this one, as you can see, let me show you with the line, so that you can understand me very well. With the line, what happened, what's not happening. Yep, this happened. So you can see it broke, then it came back and retested it. So once it came back and retested it, that was my entry. So and it retested it perfectly. So and gave me easy. Also we had news, not mentioning that we had news. So above the point of control, giving it as you can see, perfect. So my target was on this other side. No, my target was right here. This was my target was on the Monday. We had this one was support. Actually this measurement on this ALA strategy was not used, so I used it on Wednesday. So that was my take profit. It was a risk reward of 1:9. That's the perfect 1:9. So we just need to have a little bit of trust. Now this one, I've already put it. I didn't know this one when I started. So when you mark on Thursday, our Asian, London and Asian session, we had this. Market was very fast, and it actually closed very far from our point of interest on our range. You see, it closed this gap. It's very far. No, this gap I'll use it later, maybe on next week, because I'm not seeing it using it on this week, because as you can see that the market is not even trying to come at this level. But on the higher time frame, GBP still is now bearish this week. So let's see. The market has not yet closed, but once it closed, I hope it give us our support. Let me see. It might give us something, but the market is not yet, the London session is not yet finished. So it's on our inside. So I'm hoping that this candle right here to come from here, tap this area and head down to this point. Yeah, to this point. Okay, that's what I'm hoping, that the market do actually on Monday. If it won't open with a gap as usual, if it doesn't open with a gap, that's perfect. But if it opens the gap, you have to wait for the gap first to close, so that you can get a precise entry. So thank you guys for watching my recap, and if you haven't subscribed on this channel, make sure you subscribe, and if you haven't seen the real video of me teaching the ALA strategy step by step, you know where to find it. Just go to the ALA strategy in the Alpha Trade Hub, check on the first video. Those are my first very own video on this strategy. Once I backtested it, and it gave me a risk to reward of 95%. So I never lost. Like, it's very hard to get a loss with this strategy. So otherwise, thank you, see you next time.